Hey, ladies and gents. This training is going to be all about, obviously, home shows. And this is Kathy Eads, your upline leader. I'm here to give you some tips and training on this particular topic. So let's launch right into it. Home shows are really the backbone of a successful business. And the reason being is that we have a lot of different programs that we can do. However, home shows are a source for all of those other types of things that we can do also. And with home shows, you get leads for all the other stuff that we can do as well. They also allow you to earn money right away if you're working with schools, libraries, etc. Sometimes you're waiting around on your customers to finalize things. And with home shows, you are selling books on the spot and you will get your income by direct deposit the following Wednesday. So it's a really great way to earn money right away. You have an audience of interested guests that are right there on the spot, and they are interested in your product already. And they are also potentially hostesses because they came out. It's a busy schedule, and they decided to come and spend some time with you and figure out what this product is all about and to have some fun with friends while they were there. So they're a great source of new bookings. So getting more shows and team members at home shows is really great because they're getting on the spot information about the product, about what we do when we do home shows. They're getting some on-the-job training. Lots of seeds can be planted at home shows, and you can start to harvest and create some new bookings in business as well. Law of averages. Some of your shows during your first 12 weeks are going to be the bummer ones, the empty glass. It happens to all of us, no matter what level we are in the business. Every once in a while, we have a bummer show. It's okay. It does not mean that your whole business is falling apart. It just means, oh, I had a bummer show. I'm going to move on now and do my next show. And hopefully it's going to be one of these average shows, the glass half full. Or it might be the kind of show that you live for with 3 bookings and $800 in sales. And the hostess signs up and so does her best friend. Those are the awesome shows. And when you book 6 shows during your first 12 weeks, you're probably going to have some of each. And that'll give you a really good look at your average. You want to kind of look at that average and see, is it where I want it to be? Am I getting a certain number of bookings from each of my shows so that I have a self-sustaining business? Do I want to increase that average of bookings? Do I want to increase my average of sales? All of those things are quantifiable. You can look at and then go to your sponsor or to your team leader and say, hey, this is something I'd like to increase my average on. Can we talk about what I might be able to do that? And we will be happy to discuss that with you. There's really no right or wrong way to do a home show. We all have different methods. We all have different, styles. We all have different personalities. So go with something that feels really natural to you. There are a lot of examples to follow. I'll give you a list of some suggested models to follow in the next few slides. And it's important to have fun. The energy and enthusiasm that you share at your show is contagious to your hostess and guests. And if they're having a fun time and you show that you're having fun doing this, then that gets them thinking about, hey, she really has a lot of fun with this work. And they can kind of possibly see themselves doing it. Everybody would like to be able to say they have fun at their job. So use things that are comfortable for you and that you can have fun with. Obviously, the more you do your show, the more practice you're getting. You can also practice at home in your mirror or in the car, on the way to the grocery store, with your good friend, with your family. The more you practice, the more natural it gets and the easier it is to do. And obviously, the more shows you have booked, the more practice you're getting as well. And, have fun with it. Smile, show that you're enjoying yourself. People like to work with people who are fun to work with. And it's lucky that we get to earn income while we're learning. We don't have a training period where we aren't earning money to get training first. It's earn as you learn. Let's talk about the main parts of the show. Meet and greet is the time when you are developing rapport with those guests as they walk in the door. And I once heard Katie Hewitt give the best advice about this time of your show. She said, the coolest thing that I can do is get ready to start the show and have met everybody as they came in. And I say, ladies, I'm really excited that you're here tonight, so let's get the show going. And they don't even know until that moment that I'm the consultant because I've talked to them as they came in built a friendship with them, and talked to them about their kids and how their life is going. And, we just got to know each other as people. And that's what I want to do, is develop relationships with those women so that they think of me as a potential friend, not just a woman doing business and selling them books. So take advantage of that meet and greet to get to know people so that you're building a rapport and you're building trust with them. Those people may very well also be your future team leaders. They may be your future consultants. So you want to have a good relationship from the get-go. You're laying a foundation. As you introduce the show, welcome everybody. Thank them so much for coming. People have busy schedules, and I like to acknowledge that. I really appreciate you ladies coming out tonight from your busy schedule to see what Usborne is all about and to help Janet here get some great free books for her kiddos. And I want to give her this small gift as a thank you for opening your beautiful home and inviting your friends to come check out our awesome books. I briefly introduce myself to say, hi, I'm Kathy Eads, so I'll be your book lady, and I've been with Usborne for several years. Don't get into much more about that other than I really have enjoyed it, and it's been a great blessing for my family. And I don't get into a lot of personal history because they don't really care so much about it, about my story. What I want them to think about is their own, and how am I here to help them tonight. Shared just a tiny bit of information about Usborne. Started back in the 70s. We have the rights to market the books here in the US, even though Usborne started in the UK. We're a financially sound company, growing like hotcakes. Growing like, that's not the right word, but growing significantly and really making an impact on literacy with kids and helping moms who'd like to have a business but be able to work from home. So with that, ladies, I want to get into the books, but I'd like for each of you to pick up a book that you or your child would be interested in, spend a couple minutes finding your book and looking through it, and then let's go around the room and introduce ourselves and tell me about the age of the children in your life that you're shopping for tonight. When you're going around and sharing books, you want to share 8 to 10 books. If you have 8 to 10 guests, that's perfect. If you have 5 guests, you might pick up 2 or 3 to share at the end of that. You want to talk about the features and benefits, not just the features. Interactive books, internet linked books. You want to talk about why each of these things is not only unique, but what is the benefit of our internet linked books? The fact that the sites have been approved by Usborne staff as appropriate, age appropriate, so kids are safe. And they provide an incredible extension to what they're reading in the book already. So there are many different documents that you can look at with the features and benefits. The Ducks Home Show is one that goes through each of those unique qualities, and there's information about that I can provide you. If you would like that specific information, send me a quick email, Kathy with a C, at findtheduck.com, and just put Ducks Home Show, please, in the subject line. It's a good idea to share testimonials from customers. They don't have to be your own customers. For instance, I had a middle school mom who was so grateful that I suggested to her the encyclopedia set that she could get. It was a big investment, but she said it has saved her son tremendous amounts of time on research with the internet linked encyclopedias, and it has helped him be self-sufficient in getting his research done for his school projects, and she was so happy that I had suggested that to her. So that's a testimonial that I use sometimes. And I do like to leave time for being able to do the pretend hostess, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, be able to share customer specials, hostess specials, and the business kit special, providing personal shopping to each of my guests, and doing, which I forgot to put in this slide, doing the customer survey / drawing, door prize drawing slip. All of those are important in helping me to build my business in the future. So I want to be able to have time after the book talk. So the book talk itself shouldn't be the bulk of my show. It should be about half of my talking time. The Ducks Home Show is double page spread, unlimited activity, internet links, flaps to lift, questions to answer, cutaway illustrations. K can stand for Kane Miller, which is our and more in the Usborne Books and More, with fantastic children's literature from authors all over the world. It also stands for knowledge in bite-sized chunks in all of our information books. And S, which doesn't show up here, but if you plural ducks, that is for Stephen Cartwright and his little hidden duck in all of his illustrations, which helps with visual discrimination. And like I said, I can give you more on the Ducks Home Show later, but we're running a little short on time. The 5 Ways to Save Home Show is based on the 5 Ways to Save that's inside your catalog. So that's a really easy way for you to do a home show because all the information is right there inside the catalog. I do the pretend hostess and ask for a volunteer who would be willing to hold a few books on her lap. And I say, I just want to give you this visual because I'm a visual person and it helps me to see what I might get if I hosted a show, and I hope it helps you too. A really good show is about $600 with a couple bookings. So since I'm a new consultant, I can offer double free books, and that means with a good show of $600 and a couple bookings, you'll get over $370 in free and half-price books. So I just stack that up on her lap. If you don't have that many yet, then stack all that you have, and you can say, it'll be about roughly double this is what you would earn. So if you're thinking about hosting, mark maybe or yes on your customer survey, and we can talk about it tonight and see if we can find a mutual date. If you have any hesitations or questions about hosting, you're interested but you'd like to know more about it, write that out to the side and we can discuss that tonight too. Here's the door prize slip where they're able to mark those yes or maybes. I don't even talk about no because if they're going to say no, they say no on their own anyway. And I do start at the bottom of this because they know their name and address and all that jazz. I don't need to help them with that, but I need to provide a little more information on the stuff down here at the bottom. This gives me an opportunity to talk about the school programs that we have just briefly to say we have a reading incentive program, we provide book fairs, fundraisers, and a matching grant. So if you know of a school that would be interested in any of those programs, or you work with PTA, anything like that, go ahead and mark yes, and I can provide you with some more information about those tonight and follow up with you too later so that we can move on from there and see which of those programs might help your school best. Then it also walks you through, would you help out the consultant if she became a consultant herself by hosting a show with her? Would you like information about making money along with what you currently do, which that gives you an opportunity to talk about the business kit special? And are you interested in receiving books for hosting an Usborne show yourself? That gives you an opportunity to talk about the hostess special, and then you can also talk about the customer special. Smart home show practices. The customer specials that I just mentioned, those can really help build your sales. So you want to be able to, if you have any of the customer specials that are current in your inventory of books, then definitely show those and mention that these are customer special currently, and share that current flyer. You can show it to them during your book talk and when you talk about it, but then share it with them as you're helping people check out so that you can remind them right at the, oh, you qualify for the specials. So here are the ones that are available. Which one of these might you like to add? They can earn 2 deeply discounted customer specials for each $40 that they order at retail. And then tell the guests, these can be nice items to add to your gift shelf, or, if there's something that your own kids are interested in, it can be just a bonus gift for your kids. Having an open date card will help you book shows on the spot, which is the best way to do it, because then you're not having to do a whole bunch of chasing people down after the show. You can also give your hostess packets out at the show, so you can do a little preliminary hostess coaching right on the spot. This open date card I also have in a file, but you can certainly even take a blank calendar if you want. If you do use this open date card, or you'd like me to send you the file, just email and put open date card in the subject line. But before the show, list your next available dates here, and then have your guests write their name and phone number in the spot they choose. And then under the special offer, you can just list the hostess special that's current, whether it's double free books for you as a new consultant or a different hostess special. You don't have to offer anything extra. If you would like to, you can, but know that you can just put the current hostess special in there. Make sure you ask each person as you're checking out. I always start with the question, Have you ever considered doing something like this? Because it's a much bigger commitment to start with, to think about doing the business. And then we talk about that a little bit. And I might say, well, we could, if you're not quite sure about the business at this point, we could do a decider show for you. You can be the hostess, and then if you decide at your show, I really do think I want to give this a try, we can count that as your kickoff show. And you'll also get, between $300 and $400 in free and discounted books, most likely, because I'll be there to help you do the show. So you're going to really add to your samples at that point too. What do you think of that idea? And if they're not interested in the business side of things, you can always say, well, I still would love to do a show for you and at least help you get some free books for your kids, because I know your wish list was bigger than what you were able to get tonight. I'm booking now for XYZ. Which one of these dates might work for us to do a get together for you and your friends? And they may still say no, and that's okay, but you are offering them the opportunity, and that's what we're all about. Have some recruiting packets on hand at every show. And as I said, I ask each guest if she'd ever considered doing something like this as I check her out. It may come up before that time in conversations when we're doing personal shopping, but I definitely ask everyone at checkout. And I make it a relaxed kind of discussion, very low key, very comfortable. I do try to listen and ask questions more than I'm shooting information at her, because I want to develop that relationship, and I also want to understand where she's coming from. So ask questions about what interests her about the business and if she'd like to learn a little more. Ask her if she'd be interested in taking some information home if she is showing interest but, isn't ready to commit just yet. Have a packet for her and make sure and schedule a time with her to follow up so that you guys can connect again and answer her questions and potentially help her get started and get her kit ordered. Sometimes people may say, I definitely want to do this, and they want to sign up on the spot. So have the kit order form handy in the recruiting packet. As a matter of fact, what I use for the recruiting packet is the full color brochure that the home office provides in your kit, the consultant kit order form, and whatever current recruiting special there is, with the pictures of the kit options on it. And that's my whole recruiting packet, because I just want to give them enough information to pique their interest and then be able to answer questions and provide more information later. Too much information can just be overwhelming. And at the end of your show, when everybody's going home and you've got people filtering out, if anybody's asking questions of you about maybe could they help you pack up, or how often do you go out and work, those are some key questions that should be a clue to you that they're kind of thinking about possibly doing this themselves. So be able to say, sure, I'd love some help packing up, or I do, tell them, talk to them about what you're doing and say, are you kind of thinking that you're interested in learning a little bit more about it? Could you see yourself doing this too? And be open to engaging, because some people really like to have that kind of conversation a little more privately as other people are leaving to go home, and that can give you an opportunity to have a real heart-to-heart about whether they're interested and at what level, and really get somewhere with them. At the end of the home show with your hostess, take a look and see what her sales are currently, and see if she has met her goal already or if she'd like to get up to the next level. Tell her how much she needs in sales to get to the next level, even if she met her goal. Because if you mention, you have these guests who weren't able to make it tonight and your e-show is still open, would you like to reach out to them and see, would they like to order some since they weren't able to come tonight? And we can leave that e-show open for a couple of days to give them an opportunity. And that might just bump you up to the next level, and let her know how many more free books that would mean for her. And then also revisit the idea of this being her kickoff show. Would you like this to be your kickoff show? Do you think, or have you given it some more thought as a business opportunity? And see where that conversation goes, because your hostesses are, they're just very invested already. So this may be something that they're considering seriously. And I think it is super important to have fun at your show. It can be challenging when you're new, but you're learning as you go and hopefully having a lot of fun with the guests and the hostess, because they're more likely to want to do business with you again in the future. if you guys are having a good time together. So I hope you have great first home shows. I hope that if there's anything you want to change about them or tweak about them, that you let your sponsor and your team leader know that you'd like some help with that. And I also hope that this training has been helpful for you, and that if you have any questions or want some more information, that you email, text, call, or message me, because I am really happy to help you if you need some help. Thanks for sticking around till the very end of this home show training, and I look forward to talking with you soon.